going to sidetrack from our talk of operations for a moment and look at rounding and estimating. When we round and estimate, we're not working with exact answers. So first let's look at rounding. Let's look at rounding 276 to the nearest 10. So we're going to have to work with place value here. We find the position that they tell us to round to the nearest 10. So this is the tens position. You look one digit to the right. If it is 5 or higher, it will push your 10 spot up. This one is a 6, so it is going to push our 10 spot up to 8. Anything after that would become a 0. Let's look at another one. If we're going to round 273 to the nearest 10, we find the 10 spot. You look one digit to the right. 5 or higher, you would go up. Anything lower, you would drop this off to 0. So a 3 is lower than 5. We're going to drop that one off to 0. It's not going to change the 7. So we're going to have 270. An alternate way to look at these problems, if this is not clear to you, if we have 276 back on the first problem, if we're rounding to the nearest 10, we're looking at the tens that are around this. So the one that is lower is 270. The one that is higher is 280. Whichever of those it's closer to is what it's going to round to. So 276 is going to round to 280. For 273, so we have 273. The lower number is 270. The next higher 10 is 280. It's whichever one it's closer to. It is closer to 270. Look at one more example. Say we're going to round 452 to the nearest 100. So this time we're looking at the 100 spot. You look one digit to the right. We have a 5. For a 5 or higher, we will round up. So the 5 is going to push the 4 up to the next digit. Everything after that will become zeros. If you looked at it the alternate way, 452 is in the center or the middle area. The lower 100 will be 400. The next higher 100 will be 500. And it's whichever one it's closer to. 452 is closer to 500 than it is to 400. Next, we'll look at an estimate. You use an estimate when you don't need an exact answer. For an estimate, round before you do the math. You might have done an estimate before in the grocery store. Say you go in the grocery store and you have a $20 bill. You don't have a credit card and you don't have a checkbook with you, just that $20 bill. And you don't want to get to the front and be embarrassed. So as you toss your items into your buggy, you can round to get, kind of close to the right answer. But you might want to be conservative so you don't run over. So which way are you going to round? You're going to round up, probably to the nearest dollar as you toss those items in the buggy. That would give you an estimate. You don't have to know exactly what it is, but you want to be close. Let's estimate the following sum. They didn't specify what place value to round to, so we want to pick a reasonable one. A good one I think here would be to the nearest 10 spot. So we'll just round each one to the tens place, and then we'll do the math. Remember, you have to round first to do an estimate. So for 62, how is that going to round? 2 is lower than 5, so that one's going to round down to 60. How about 72? So we're looking at our 7 to the right of it. A 2 is going to drop off, so we'll give us 70. For 15, the 5 is going to push your 1 up. So you have 20. And 19, the 9 will push the 1 up. 20. And then we add. So we have all zeros there. 13, 14, 16, 17. So our estimate is 170.